different related angle and a sine, things that we discussed last time. Let's quickly review them. So remember what the new definition of sine theta is. What's the new definition of sine? It's y. Definition of cos is x. Definition of tan is y over x. We use this definition to calculate some values from this unit circle. And today we're going to make a, but then you see that's not very practical because in the exam we're not going to draw that. That's too hard. So we're going to have a more practical strategy today to work out what sine 150 is. Oh, oops, I forgot to copy and paste without changing the angle. Oops. Okay, that should be 330. That should be 210. Can't believe I did that. Huh? No, I just say, oh my God. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to calculate what these are without a calculator. Okay, what's sine theta again? Yes, very good. What's cos theta? Very good. Let's start with the first quadrant, which is on the right-hand side. Now, to work out the x and y value, remember that's x, that's y. How do I calculate x again? It's cos theta. Now, this angle is 30, right? So write cos 30. Cos 30. Now, remember what cos 30 is. Hopefully you memorized this by now. What's cos 30? Half. No. Close, but not half. No. No, none of you learn it. Say again? No. Oh my God. It's root 3 over 2. Okay, so that means that's root 3 over 2. To calculate the y value, we'll do sine 30. And what's sine 30? Well, it can't be same as 1 over 2. It can't be same as cos, right? So that means the x value of that point is root 3 over 2. The y value of that point is half. Like that. Okay, good. Any questions? So we can use that to work out the coordinate. Alright, after we do this, we're going to look at this question. How do I calculate sine 150 and cos 150? Alright, let's look at this. Let's look at this diagram again. We need to calculate what we call the related angle. What's the related angle here? How do I calculate? So what you do is you do 180 minus 150. And what's that equal to? 30. So it's the same related angle as the one in the first quadrant. Get out your booklet. Okay, so what do we have here? Alright, they're both 30, isn't it? Now this is a very important information. That's why it's called related angle. They're related. Now going back to the 30 degree, what was the corner of that point? What was the coordinate? We just calculated it. What was the coordinate? Yeah, this thing we just calculated. Let's write this down. So this is just that, right? It's the same diagram. Same diagram. Of course, it's a unit circle. I forgot to label that. All right. Now, because they are both 30, how can I use them to calculate? You need to get it out. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so what you do is, have I started recording? I did. Okay, all right. So, what's the connection between these 2 points? They are reflection, right? If they're reflection, what's the coordinate? Negative. Yeah, it would be negative root 3 over 2, isn't it? Because they're reflection. How about the other one? Half, because they should have the same y value, but opposite x value, right? Symmetrical. Okay. Now, what's sine 150 again? What's sine 150? It's y. Yes? What's cos 150? It's x. But do we know the y value? What's the y value? Half. So we write half. So we got sine 150 is half. That's why we use the related angle. They're related. How about cos 150? Negative root 3 over 2. Now we know where the negative comes from. Like that. Let's write it in terms of the related angle. So cos 150 is same as sine 30, isn't it? Right? Sine 30. But except that in the second quadrant, sine is positive. It's plus. You don't have to write the plus. But cos is negative. Get the idea? So cos 150 is same as negative cos 30. And sine 150 is same as positive sine 30. Does that make sense? So we use symmetry to work out the value so that we don't have to count the grid like we did last time. See, that's very long, right? It's not practical. We need to use the related angle relate to the first quadrant. So any quadrant all related to the first quadrant. Just sometimes a plus, sometimes a minus. All right, let's go to the other quadrant. How about in the third quadrant, 210? So make sure you change this to 210 and that. Okay, again, what sine 210 equal to? Is equal to y. Remember, I keep stressing that's a new definition. What's cos 150? It's x. Now going back to 210, what's the related angle? How do I calculate? I do 210 minus 180. What's that equal to? 30. So that's 30 again. It's now related to the first quadrant. Now, remember, going back, what was the corner of that 30 degree? Root 3 over 2 and half. And how would that useful to calculate the other point? They're opposite of each other, so what would it be? It's going to be negative root 3 over 2 and negative half. Okay. Now, what was sine 210 again? It's equal to y. What's the y value? What's the y value? Negative half. And what's cos 210? Negative root 3 over 2. You can check on the calculator. So if you press sine 210, you do get negative half, right? All right, good. Now, let's look at in terms of the related angle. It's all related to the sine 30 again, but in this quadrant, both are negative. So, sine 210 is same as negative sine 30. Cos 210 is equal to negative cos 30. All right? And then finally, we'll look at the third quadrant. One last time. What's sine 330 equal to? What's it equal to? Y. What's cos? X. Right? Cos is X, sine is Y. Just remember alphabetical order. Cos is before sine, so X and Y. Another way to think about it. Okay, let's go back to the related angle. What was the corner of that 30 degree? Yep, we calculated before. And let's calculate the other one. What was the related angle? 330, so it must be 30 here, right? That's a related angle. Because they're related, the corner must be very similar. What will be the corner of the new point? Well, we have the same x value, isn't it? A negative half. So what does it tell you? Sine 330 must be the y value. What was the y value? Negative half. And what's the x value? Which is cos 330 is root 3 over 2. So therefore, in terms of the related, sine 330 is same as negative sine 30. And cos 330 will be positive cos 30. All right. Okay, so after we do this, we can write a conclusion. So what can we conclude? The trigonometric ratios of any angle theta are the same as the trigonometric ratio of its related angle, which I'll do in red pen. They're the same. That's why it's called related angle for a reason, except for a possible change of sign. Could be positive or negative. They're equal, except it could be opposite or equal. All right, just remind yourself, please fill in this again. The more you fill out, the better it becomes. See how This is what you do. Start with 30, half, half. That's how I do it. What's the next step? Root 3 over 2, root 3 over 2. And then 1 over root 2, 1 over root 2. And I'll do the 10 last. 10 will be, first one's 1 on root 3, root 3. This is 1. You can do it in under 10 seconds. Just do that a lot of time, you get better at it. So this is a very important table to learn. All right, now we're going to do some questions using the ideas we just developed. Okay? It's all related, angle, the quadrant, everything. Okay. All right, let's look at the first one. So these are the steps I have outlined for you. Find the quadrant, use the ASTC rule, which is the all stations to central. Find the related angle, find the exact ratio. Let's try to do that. 150 degrees. First step, quadrant. Where's 150? Over here. 150. Second step, find the related. Oh, I should find the related angle first. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, what's the related angle? It's 30. We did before, and then we should do the ASTC rule. ASTC rule is all stations to central. But because it's S, it's positive, so you write equal to positive sign of the related angle. But what's sine 30? You know the table already, right? That's why I want you to learn the table. What's sine 30 again? Half. So you get half. Get it? All right, then you can do the other one. Let's do cos 510. Remember, you can go over 360. So where would it be? So 360 and then 510. So what do? Use your calculator or just do it by hand. 510 minus 360. That will be, is that 150? Oh, again, okay, doesn't matter. Okay, 150 is in the second quadrant. And because it's 150, I can work out the related angle to be 30, right? So what do? In the second quadrant, all stations to central, is the cos positive or negative? So write negative cos 30. And what's cos 30 again? Yes, very good. Get it? So you don't need a calculator. You can do it without a calculator. And there's a few more you can try. All right, try this. And then we'll just do a boundary angles, then we'll finish, then we'll do the exam. Okay, you'll get the exam back very soon. Plus the merit for those who come be good. Okay. No, the people who did good. There's some people in this class did very, very good. Very, 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 very good. Okay. All right. Okay, so tan 330, which quadrant will it be? Yep, central station. Yeah, very good. Central's in the fourth quadrant. So you go like that. So it's going to be, is it positive or negative? It's central, so therefore T is negative. So write negative tan. And what was the related angle? How do 30, yes, so you write 30. That's why we call it the related angle. I think in year 10 in the textbook they call it the reference angle. But they're all the same thing. Related angle are better because it's related. All right, what's tan 30? 1 over root 3. So you need to know the exact value. It's going to make your life easier. Okay, don't just draw the triangle each time, takes too long. Good. Now, hopefully you remember what negative 30 is. Which way do you go? Clockwise, the other way, right? Negative 30. But the related angle is always positive, right? It's related to the first quadrant. Now, in the fourth quadrant, is sine positive or negative? In the fourth quadrant, negative. All stations to central, right? C is positive, everything's negative. So write negative sine of the related. Notice I don't put negative 30, I put positive 30. So that's the negative 30, that's the related angle. They're different. They're different. The negative 30 just tells you to go that way. All right? Okay, what's the sine 30? All right, good. All right, I think you're getting very good. Just try these ones. I'll give you about few times. Actually, I should show the page so you can see. Okay, good. I'll just walk around, just make sure. Have a try. You finish. Thanks for trying. So negative 30. This one, negative 30 will be in the fourth quadrant. But remember, the related angle is 30. The actual angle is negative 30. But because it's positive, you write cos 30, right? Cos of the related angle 30. All right. Okay, good. And then it becomes root 3 over 2. Okay. How about negative 240? Negative 240 will be going that way, in the second quadrant. And then how do I get the related angle? To get the related angle, you just do 240 minus 180, which is 60. So that angle is 60. Okay? But in the second quadrant, tan is negative. So write negative tan 60. Get it? And what's tan 60? Root 3. $240. Yes, 240. It says 240. But because that angle is just 240, to work out the related, you just subtract 180. Yeah. Okay, one more. How about cos square? You just go cos 120 square. And you just go, that's in the second quadrant with the angle 60. So you just go negative cos 60. And what's cos 60 is half. And if you square negative half, it's a quarter. Right? You just subtract from 180. 180 minus 180. Okay. And the last one, sec, is 1 over cos. And that's in the third quadrant. How do I get the related? You do 210 minus 180, which is 30 degrees. So you do cos 30. Actually, it's negative as well. So negative cos 30. And what's cos 30? Root 3 over 2. So write 1 over negative root 3 over 2, which is just negative 2 on root 3. Okay. Oh, you got it? Very good. All right, we've got one more question, and then we'll just finish there. And I'll give you back the exam. Okay. This one, sine is negative 0.6. Cos x is positive. Find the value of tan x and sec x. So what you do is, you're going to write this as a fraction, 6 over 10, which is simplified to be negative 3 over 5. And what you do is just think about opposite over hypotenuse, 3 over 5, like that. And then use Pythagoras to work out the fourth side. The third side is 4. So work out the triangle first. After you do this, work out which quadrant. Now, you say sine is negative. Which quadrant is sine negative? 3 and 4. Which one cos is positive? 4th and 1, right? So which one has got both? 4th. So it must be 4th. It has to be negative and positive for the cos. So it's 4th. So you say x in 4th quadrant. Now we can work out this value. Tan x is opposite over adjacent through 3 over 4. But in the fourth quadrant, is tan positive or negative? So you write negative. And then sec x. Sec x is 1 over cos x. And what's cos x? Adjacent over hypotenuse, 4 over 5. And that will be 5 over 4. And in the fourth quadrant, is cos positive or negative? Positive. So plus, plus. I get the idea. I think we'll have enough today. So we're going to give you back the 10. From here,